What's up, friends? Welcome to The Beautiful Mess, where we talk about tools and tactics to improve your life. I'm your host, Paul Dittus, a content creator, YouTuber, and podcaster, and super excited to have you on this episode as we dive into the wonderful world of bullet journaling. And full disclaimer, I recently started bullet journaling. I guess I've maybe done a little bit, dabbled here and there, but I've been pretty consistent. And so now I feel like it's something that I want to share with you, as I found it to be kind of useful and just a fun way and a great system for getting your ideas on paper and to being able to, have a place for things to live instead of just having sticky notes, different apps. And also it's just a nice place instead of having to have like a digital place to live. It's like you have a physical book. Right now, this is the book I'm using. It was just I love bullet stuff. I don't know about you, but if I have a choice between various types of paper, I like the ones with the little bullets. I just feel like it's a nice way to have structure on a page, so it's not completely blank, but at the same time you don't have the distraction of lines going across, which kind of constrict what you're able to do on a page. And so this is the journal I've been using. And you might be asking, like, what do you need to get started as a bullet journalist? And honestly, it's basically just the journal and a pen. Just sharing my favorite pens right now. I love the Pilot G2. These things are just fantastic. Normally I get like the 0.7, but right now I'm rocking the 1. It was actually on accident that I got these, but I've actually grown to like them. A little bit heavier of a weight when you're writing, but it's nice. And so a big thank you to my friend Natasha for recommending the book and website for bullet journaling. I guess I had done it just based on things that I'd learned from my friend and other YouTubers and just picking up little things here and there. But I finally picked up the book. I'm in the process of reading it. So maybe there'll be more developments as things go along. But I just wanted to share my raw and real thoughts on bullet journaling as a minimalist. So yeah, it's very simple to get started. Just basically need a journal, pen, and sometimes it's helpful to have a ruler, but it's not a rule. It's not a rule to have a ruler. So don't worry if you do not have a ruler. Yeah. So even though it requires the things, it's not about the journal itself. It's actually a methodology, basically a method that you can follow to have a place for you to write things down and get it out of your, just your thoughts and things, to crystallize things and make it clear. So according to the website, and I, again, recommend checking out both the book. So far, it's been a good read. And then also the website, bulletjournal.com. And just to give you an insight, if you hear the word BuJo or BuJo, I don't know how they exactly pronounce it, but it's basically BuJo. That's basically short for bullet journal. So now you're inside the crew. So on the website, they basically define it like this. Bullet journaling is designed to help you organize your what while you remain mindful of your why. Again, it's designed to help you with your what, to organize your what, while you remain mindful of your why. And it's all about like intentional living. It's instead of like just merely, writing stuff down, or just the act of writing stuff down is very therapeutic. It's very, I think there's many health benefits for writing stuff down. So, and there's not really any distractions that you have to worry about, unlike your phone or your computer. It's very distraction-free environment and a great place for you to kind of get your thoughts on paper. And so the idea is that it's meant, they say it's meant to help the BuJo peeps, I inserted that, live intentional lives, ones that are productive and meaningful. So basically, it's a place for you to put all your thoughts, appointments, to-do lists, grand schemes, life goals, you name it, whatever is helpful for you to keep on there. That's something that you can do. Like if, for example, some things that I would do just in my planner that I had, I can actually show you. I've got it here. I haven't been using it as often. I still put some stuff in there occasionally, but this is the Action Day Planner. One of the staples that I've used for planning over the years. I kind of keep going back to it here and there. We'll see how this bullet journaling affects my Action Day love. We'll see. But yeah, in the back, they've got these blank pages, no dots. So Action Day, if you're listening, let's add some dots in the back maybe. But in the back, I would write down different things that I wanted to either, like goals that I wanted to strive for, maybe some like a reading list of things that I want to read, just ideas, some like list of things to either work on that like it's bigger than just the week to week because it's a weekly planner. The method of the Action Day is fantastic, and I highly recommend just maybe even picking up one just to get the front section. I think that's where actually the gold is at. And then it applies the principles discussed in it, in the sheet for each week. That's a weekly layout in the Action Day. And so basically you have a section where you can kind of put, they have the idea of like the sand, the pebbles and the rocks. And so again, like the idea is that you want to put your rocks in first, then put in the pebbles and then the sand on top. And so that's the principle by which they organize the page. And so you have your rocks, your goals and projects that you're working on. And then you have those little tasks on the side so you can keep track of everything in a week view. And it's been a great system. However, I do feel like I enjoy the process of bullet journaling and the freedom that you get with it. And so we'll dive a little bit further into what that's looked like. But first, I want to kind of give you a backstory of how bullet journaling came about. It was invented by Ryder Carroll. He basically is a digital product designer, and he was diagnosed early in life with learning disabilities. And because of that, he was kind of forced to figure out a way to overcome that by, so that he could stay productive and focused. And so he just started, working in a journal, and that eventually became the bullet journal method. And one of the stories that he talks about in his book is how he had a colleague that he wanted to help out, and he thought the bullet journal method would be a great tool for them. And so he ended up, taking them to lunch or something, and he showed them the method, and he was just like, this is dumb, like they're going to think it's just like this crazy guy's idea. And at the end, the person was just like, what? This is amazing. Like, you should tell everyone, this is a game changer. And I don't know about you, but in college, everyone says, take notes. It's important. And so I would take notes, but I never felt like I was a proficient note taker, or just never had a great way of organizing my notes. And so when I learned the BuJo method and kind of how there's like a system instead of just mindlessly like writing here. It's like you have these different signifiers to designate what the thing is. So a dot is often designated for a task. And then you have, I think, a circle is an event, or I've seen some people use a triangle for events. And then you have these little carrots, or like, what is it? Larger than, lesser than. I don't know how to call those right now. But anyways, you have those to signify whether you migrated a task to another section, or if you rescheduled it. So that they have ways so that you can keep all your ideas organized, and to cancel it is just cross it out. So super simple. And the beauty is, like, people come up with all different kinds of layouts. I'm experimenting. I'm trying out different ones. YouTube has a wealth of people that have tried it out. And in fact, one of my favorite YouTubers, Matt Diavella, he did a 30-day test of doing bullet journaling. And it was pretty interesting. His end result, I think he, in the end, like, I don't think bullet journaling was for him. And you might find that too. You might be like, hey, with the things that I need to do, it just actually gets in the way. And when that happens, I recommend don't do it. Like, it's not, if it doesn't fit how you do things on a day-to-day basis, it might not be for you. One thing that I might want to talk about in depth at one point is this app that I'm trying out. It's web-based, it's cloud-based, but then there's a app that you can download on your computer and then also on your phone, but it's called Sunsama. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But so far, I really enjoyed it. I'm just doing the trial. I don't know if I can justify the price of it, but it's a very effective way of scheduling your tasks, because again, this is super important that when you have tasks, you set aside a time and a place. If it's something that you want to get done, you're going to be much more likely if you put in the time and the place. And what the Sunsama does really well is it has you write out like the objectives of the week and any tasks that you need to complete. Then you set aside, this is what I love, you set aside the time that you think you're going to project the time that's going to take you to complete that task. So it's not just like this high in the sky idea. And the other thing is you're going to schedule it on your calendar. So it's not just like, hey, this is something that would be nice to do. It's like, wait a second, like I'm going to do this at this time. So right now I've got scheduled that I'm going to publish or work on the Beautiful Mess podcast, which I'm doing at the moment. And this is something I didn't do right now, but I like it, is you can actually start the timer. I just did it right now, just to kind of have it in front of me, where you start basically it has like the planned time that you're going to work on it. And then you also have like the actual. So then at the end of the project, you can see like, I projected I would use this much time for it. However, I realized that I used like twice the time, or maybe I did in half the time. So you can start scheduling your blocks of time accordingly, especially if it's something that you do every single week. You can all of a sudden realize like, hey, if I change this thing in the process, I'm going to get so much faster. I'm going to develop better routines. I'm going to make it more systemized, because the whole hope of doing something like this is that it becomes more effortless. And that's a book that I'm reading too, is Effortless by Greg McKeown, I want to say. He's a person that wrote Essentialism. So I'm reading his newer book, Effortless, and it's been a good read. So hopefully I'll have an episode about that. So stay tuned if you want to learn about being effortless in your work, or making work more effortless and enjoyable. Then I would highly recommend staying tuned. So yeah, that bullet journaling has just been a great tool. I feel like you could probably get something like the Sunsama in your bullet journaling. You just have to be more intentional about how you do it. But I love, at the end of the day, they basically have a shutdown routine where basically you realize like what things that you did, what things you need to reschedule for tomorrow, or maybe put it on the back burner. They've got like a backlog section. And yeah, it's been great. Really enjoy the app so far. So hopefully I'll dive into that further. But yeah, they have like, yeah, I just really like it. I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, anyways, So back to bullet journaling. Back to your regularly scheduled content. This is a beautiful mess. So if you're listening to it, you've been forewarned in the beginning that this could be messy. So the cool thing about like Ryder Carroll and his like development of it is that like it's very much like an organic thing. It's like growing, it's developing. Obviously, if you search like the hashtag BuJo or bullet journal, you'll see people using bullet journal in all different kinds of ways. Some people use it very beautifully, ornate, like they're gorgeous. And then you've got those that are very simple and minimalistic. And this goes to my next point is start simple. Start with things that will help you. Don't necessarily go for the fanciest layout unless you are artistic and really enjoy doing that, because you might end up frustrating yourself in the long run. And it is better to get started on something than to focus on getting it perfect. Because again, it's just a tool in your arsenal to get your thoughts on paper and just to help you process them. And I thought, again, like the cool thing is that it's not just about what you're doing, but why you're doing it. And I guess it goes hand in hand with the process, is that when you go to write something down, it should be intentional. You shouldn't just be like writing down like a long list of things. It should be like, this is important enough for me to write down on this list. And you're kind of defining it. And so, yeah, I think the benefits that I've seen so far is that, one, obviously distractions. When I go, to plan something, I just grab my book. I don't need a phone, don't need something else. And that's the thing is like, oftentimes people think like, oh, I need someone to tell me what to do. It's like, no, there's a lot that you can process and learn on your own using, a simple pen and paper. We could probably use more time alone without distractions to really crystallize what's important to us. Because if we're always listening to someone else, how can we understand what we're wanting to accomplish in life, what we have desires for, what will bring us fulfillment and meaning in life, instead of getting that from an external source, from the media, from people telling you what to do. It's like, looking from a higher perspective, not just like ground level social media-esque level. And then people to check out, and I'll just like put a couple plugs in there, just so if you're like looking for something, you can kind of have a place to start right away. Spencer Pugh, my buddy, he's got some videos, great videos on bullet journaling. So be sure to check his channel out. And then bulletjournal.com, again, is a great resource. It's the home of bullet journaling. And then Matt Ragland has some great content on bullet journaling. And then again, just search the great YouTube University at youtube.com. Just search on there for bullet journaling. You'll get some great ideas that can help you get started. And like, yeah, one of my favorite things about it is customizable. It fits your needs. Like, you're not feeling like you have to fit it into your life. Like, you can, make it serve your life instead of like, I'm going to do this because it's, yeah. Anyways, it's just, yeah, great tool. So yeah, start simple, take it easy. And, it's been a good thing, and it's very minimalistic, very intentional living, essentialist minded, because it kind of helps you focus on those things that truly matter, instead of getting bogged down by the noise, the many directions that life likes to pull you. All of a sudden, it's simple. You have one place to put down your ideas. Oh yeah, and a dash is like your thoughts or an idea, and it just makes it so much easier for you to log a whole day, and then you can go back and see like, hey, back in this month, I was doing these things, and that kind of led me to where I am today, whether good or bad. At least you have a documentation of what things were going on, and might give you more clarity in going forward. And so, hey, if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to just pick up a book today. Even just jot down some things that you want to do. Just throw a date up on the top, and then put the dots for your tasks. Maybe use the formula that I've been liking. Have like a daily highlight, and then have your might-do list. Not like so that you at least aim to accomplish that one thing, and then whatever else you can throw it in there. Great. Well, friends, this has been epic. I always enjoy having you on this show, The Beautiful Mess. And if you want to become part of the Messy Fam, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff wherever you listen to podcasts or watch the podcast. We are on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook if you want to watch it. And then listening, basically any of the podcasting apps that you enjoy will likely be there. If we're not, let me know. I'm at Paul Dittus on most social media platforms. So if you want to drop me a line, would love to hear from you. Until next time, my friends, stay messy.